watching Amina's Healthy Kitchen. My name is Amina, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make apple pie. Okay, now this recipe is not a healthy recipe, but like I've said before, I believe that healthy eating is about moderation rather than deprivation. So I allow myself to have treats, but I have them moderately, and I prefer to make my own treats because when you buy things from the shops, like from the factories, it often has a lot of preservatives and added sugar and added fat that you don't need. But when you make it yourself, you can know exactly what's inside it, so it's better, and homemade always tastes better than anything. So let's go through the ingredients. You're going to need sugar, salt, butter, a little bit of water, and some flour. That's all you're going to need for the pastry. Now I have to wear a glove because the other day I hurt myself and I have to protect my bandage, so excuse the bright orange glove. Now I'm going to put in my bowl here, I'm going to put my flour and my sugar and salt, and I'm going to give it a good mix with my hands. Now the next step of this recipe is my secret trick that I do to get really good flaky pastry. What I do is I put my butter, I measure the amount that I need, and then I put the butter in the freezer like an hour before I'm going to use it, and then I grate it into the mix. This is a really good way of making sure the butter stays really cold, because the way that you get really buttery flaky pastry is by using really cold butter. So that's my little trick that I use. So I'm just going to grate all my butter into my pastry, and you need to work quick because you don't want the butter to warm up. So now you've got the butter in there, we're going to mix the butter and the flour together with our hands, just crumbling them together, doing this action. I don't know what you call that action, but this action, like you go like that. I don't know what you call it. But you just want to make sure that all the butter is incorporated all through the flour. Now all the butter is incorporated nicely into the flour. I'm going to add some water, but I'm going to add a tablespoon at a time. I don't want to add too much of it. Hey, it looks good. Starting to look like pastry now. My pastry has all come together. I'm just going to put a little bit of flour on my surface, and I'm going to continue to knead it until it becomes a soft dough. My pastry has all come together nicely, and I'm going to cover it with cling film and put it in the fridge for about 15 to 20 minutes. And while it's chilling, we're going to make the filling. The ingredients you'll need for the filling are 5 apples. I'm using Bramley apples, which are cooking apples, but you can use any kind of sharp green apples, like for example Granny Smith apples are perfect. The other ingredients you'll need are some sugar, some flour, and some cinnamon, and some butter, and we're going to get the butter out later. First, I have my bowl here full of apples that I chopped and sliced into small pieces like this. And I'm going to put my sugar, my flour, and my cinnamon all in this bowl right here. And I'm going to give this a really good mix. And the filling is ready. So simple. My pastry has chilled in the fridge, and now I'm going to assemble my pie. First of all, you guys, baking in hijab is no joke. Is no joke. I keep getting stressed that I've got flour on my scarf. I can't roll up my sleeves, otherwise I'll be showing my arms. Oh, the struggle is real. Okay, I'm going to divide my pastry into one big section and one small section, so I'm going to take off a third of the pastry. I'm going to put this to the side. And I'm going to roll this out wide enough to cover the pie dish. Yes. Okay. And I'm going to put that over into my pie dish. I'm so excited to eat. I'm not even explaining anymore. Okay, so I put the pastry over the pie dish and I'm just pushing it down so it goes all the way down. I'm going to leave this like this for now, just for now. Now I'm going to get my apples that I had before and I'm going to put them into my pie dish and arrange them nicely. Well, not nicely, just arrange them anyhow. Doesn't have to be precise. Okay, so I've finished assembling all my apples into my case and I'm going to get my extra butter and I'm going to just dot it over the pie, like in different corners, just like that. Now I'm going to get my other half of the dough. I'm going to add a little bit of flour here and I'm going to roll it out again to cover the pie dish. Now I'm going to get this piece of pastry and I'm going to put it over my pie, just like this. Now, because my pie dish has like bumps, I'm going to use the bumps to help me press down the edges of the pie. But if you're using a flat pie dish, what you can do is get a fork and press the fork all around the rim, and that will help to seal the pie. So I'm just going to follow the pattern of my pie dish. Now I'm going to use my knife to cut off all the excess pastry. Just like this. And there's your pie. You could leave the pie like this, but I'm going to use my extra pastry just to put some nice design on the top. Yay, finished. Now, I don't throw this stuff away because this is good stuff. What I do with this is I cut them into little squares and make them into biscuits. And it's delicious. So don't throw that away. Use it making biscuits. With my pie, I'm going to get the rest of the egg wash and cover the whole of the pie. What this is going to do is going to give the pie a lovely shiny finish. Because there's nothing worse than a dry looking pie. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to get my knife and I'm going to make some holes to let the steam escape. If you don't put any holes in the top of your pie, the pie will explode in the oven. Trust me, I've done it before and it was a disaster. So put holes in your pie. So your pie is finished. Put this in a preheated oven at 210 degrees for 40 minutes. My pie has finished baking. I took it out of the oven and let it cool for 15 minutes and I already cut myself a slice and started eating and I forgot to film, sorry. But I'll give you a taste test now. It's everything you want in an apple pie. The pastry is buttery and flaky. The apples are still sharp and cinnamony. Oh God, it's just too good. You just want this recipe with the list of ingredients, the measurements and the step-by-step instructions, then you have to go to aminashealthykitchen.com. Until next week, keep cooking.